We are on.
Hey, everybody. It is January 28th, 2018. I'm Glenn Rubenstein. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. We just witnessed the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match, Royal Rumble 2018. Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka going to WrestleMania, and Ronda Rousey showing up at the very end there to completely overshadow everything we saw tonight. Mr. Matt Morgan is with us and Mr. Raj Giri. Matt, what did you think of tonight's pay-per-view?
I'm infuriated with the way the network works. We'll get it. We'll better get into it really quick. Just that, like for instance, just like I watch Raw, I try to let like the first 15 minutes or something play from WWE and then catch up, and that way you skip all the boring crap and whatnot. You see the finishes of the crap matches you don't really care about, but more importantly, what bothers me about the network is you can watch it live, or you can watch it from the beginning and fast forward, but they only let you fast forward to a certain point. So the whole night during the Men's Royal Rumble, I'm thinking I'm caught up to speed. And I'm going, where the hell is like Braun Strowman's match? You know, I saw AJ, I saw the tag team titles defend, I saw everything else. The Men's Rumble, the Women's Rumble. And I'm completely missed. The match I wanted to see probably the most was Braun versus Kane versus Brock. So anyways, long story short, the network annoys me the way it works that way, but the stuff with Ronda Rousey at the end was, I mean, was it really? I kind of felt it was a fart in church. Kind of, it was very uncomfortable. I was incredibly uncomfortable. She makes me uncomfortable.
She seemed very awkward out there.
She always does, even when she was out there with Rock and that Stephanie and Triple H and The Rock made that segment, a couple years back or whenever that was. And even then, with her stupid, she's a wrestling fan. She should get this more than anybody on how to play these parts, you know?
Yeah,
and, I don't know. I just thought, it wasn't that great.
Like, when she's pointing at the sign, it just seemed corny.
Overly done. That's Vince. Yeah. That's Vince for sure. Mm-hmm. But still, at the same time, she came out with Piper's jacket. You know what I mean? You could tell for sure that's what that was. That's why it was so big looking. The first time my wife goes, "Why is she wearing that stupid looking jacket?" I go, "I guarantee that's Roddy Piper's. Guarantee it." But still, it was very uncomfortable. The women's match, where do we just get to with the women's revolution? Right? You got to be able to get in. You better be able to get it done between the ropes. The women are treated just as respectful as men. And they get judged on how they work now. God forbid, right? That's the women's revolution. Is what it's supposed to be about. And you bring back Kelly, fucking out of your minds? Seriously, was come on, man. It was horrible. The decisions she's hot. I get why you want to bring her back. Then guess what? Don't put her in a match. Have her do something else.
I thought she was supposed to go over the top when she first came in and Natalia threw her over. I thought she had botched it. But apparently, obviously it wasn't. But to be honest, all of the women that aren't on the main roster got a bigger pop than the women that are on the main roster. And that's because of how WWE books the women. They're not booked nowadays to be anything special. And I was just thinking this when Mickie James came out. If she wasn't on the main roster, if she had been never came back, she would have gotten a gigantic pop.
Okay,
but when she came out,
between nostalgia pop, which you can't compete with nostalgia pop. That's not fair.
No. It's also a star pop. Like if Sasha got one, Asuka got one, and those are the only women that the fans see as stars.
But all those other girls don't have as much time spent as those other women did. Those girls had 5-6 years under their belt, 7 years of TV versus these girls versus 2 years of experience. That's a very big difference, and they haven't been on it.
Well, it's not just that; it's also those girls, Kelly, Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix. They all had singles feuds.
Kelly did not get some ridiculous pop. There's some 12-year-old with braces on it, smiling. I'm going, you've never even seen her. What are you smiling at?
Maybe not her, but Lita, Beth Phoenix, Michelle McCool.
Sure.
They all got big pops because people remember them as characters.
But they also were back in an era where there wasn't a full division they tried to showcase each week. I mean,
those girls had tons of TV experience for years. You can't compare them.
They were on every week.
Yes, that's my point.
It's the same as now. It's the same as now, except now they get longer matches and they get specialty matches.
So let me put it this way: 10 years from now, you mean to tell me When Sasha comes out after she's been retired for 4 years, let's say 5 years, she ain't gonna get that pop. I guarantee you she does.
Sasha will, but she gets it now.
Conversation 10 years from now.
Sasha gets it now.
Bailey, any of them.
She won't. At the rate she's headed, no way.
Well, with Bailey,
Trish Stratus, Lita were the only ones, in my opinion, that got star pop versus nostalgia pop.
I don't agree with that, but we'll get to it.
I don't care if you agree with it.
Yeah, I don't care if you agree with it. It's not true.
I said it.
You were watching it, trying to watch it on a 15-minute delay. You probably
Matt, if you'd watched it live when Vicky Guerrero came out, you would have felt the energy.
I saw Vicky.
Yeah,
I saw all that. I miss Braun.
Molly Holly got a big pop.
Again, legend, Hall of Famer.
She is not a legend. She's not compared to like a Lita or a Trish Stratus. You know, when you think of the top of the chain.
She's not a Hall of Famer.
I mean, she will be, but with the standards that WWE has. But no, she never held a title. She was never in a big feud. She was always, She was in the most, until now, she was in the most competitive women's division, and she was the glue, a la Ivory. She was a newer Ivory.
How about the fact Stephanie McMahon shouted out China tonight on the commentary?
Yeah.
And Michael Cole mentioned Randy Savage while sitting next to Stephanie McMahon. I think that's the first time I've heard a Savage reference while she was there.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
We don't know that's true.
I would. That I've seen. I would know that. It would stick in my mind if someone made a Randy Savage reference in front of Stephanie.
Oh no, I'm saying I don't know if it's true that what was being accused.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Then why would her name be that anagram for what it's an anagram for? I'm just saying. You guys don't get the joke. No. Macho Man body part is an anagram for Stephanie McMahon. Look it up on the internet. It'll make you chuckle. But no, look, tonight my thing is this.
Getting hot and heated right at the beginning.
Man, Nakamura going to Mania. Big, huge. Women's Rumble. Honoring the past, the present, Asuka, bringing her out there big, huge, and then they just crap all over their story because now everyone's talking about Ronda and not about all these hardworking superstars that are there day in and day out, especially the women's division. If it's going to be all Ronda for the next 3 months, what a slap in the face to all these women that have been grinding it out to develop their characters and stories.
What a slap in the face that we just had to watch 30 minutes or however long the women's Rumble match was. Asuka pulls that out at the end. She's the one who's supposed to be doing the most annoying pointing to that stupid WrestleMania sign over and over, closing off the show. And Ronda just comes in and says, what? I'm going to be facing the other title holder without having to be in the Rumble? She should have been in the damn Rumble then.
But that is what everyone's going to be talking about. So, I mean,
of course
they did the right thing. I mean, that's what they should have done.
They don't get any bigger, though. Let's just call a spade a spade. They can try to do this mainstream media exposure as possible. They get it every year because the brand is humongous enough. They're never going to exceed getting on SportsCenter and on news stations each WrestleMania. Okay, so I don't understand how this is going to do any more than that.
Ronda Rousey? She's the biggest female athlete on the planet.
What did I just mention? I said news stations, entertainment stations, and ESPN.
No.
What other coverage is she going to get on TV more than that?
She's going to bring in a ton of fans. Way more people order UFC pay-per-views when she's on it that aren't fighting fans. Because she's on it. It does blockbuster rates of people that have never bought a UFC pay-per-view. So, I mean, it's going to bring in a lot of people that normally don't watch. There's very few athletes and celebrities that can do that. Mike Tyson was one. There's a handful.
I'm talking mainstream exposure is what I'm saying. I'm not saying people ordering the pay-per-view. I'm saying mainstream exposure, which is what this always comes down to with Vince and his heart on, to be accepted by mainstream.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like the way that show ended, and I love Ronda Rousey. She's my favorite MMA fighter. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my wife, who never watches wrestling anymore, came down when Ronda Rousey came out, and she was watching that. And I thought
did she not make fun of her faces? Did she not make fun of her faces? I guarantee you, she said something about it.
No, she was like, "Oh, that's cool." And I was like, "Isn't that kind of cringe the way she's pointing?" Because she's not. Here's the thing with Ronda too: is she sucks in like movies and stuff when she's in it, like Entourage, and when she.
I totally believed she was into Turtle and Entourage.
She's not a good actress, and wrestling is a lot about that. When she did that segment with The Rock, if The Rock wasn't there, I think it would have been really bad. She's making that angry face, and so
That's all she should ever do is angry face. She should never, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, where do we begin tonight?
So let's get started. So
Cruiserweights had a match.
You know what? This was the smart money never came out.
Oh,
Nakamura and Asuka were always the favorites to win those matches, like over the past.
P.S.
I mean,
Asuka. I said Nakamura, by the way, was going to win, and I said Asuka was going to win. Go back and watch. I either said on my Raw the podcast with you, Raj, or maybe SmackDown, which is a fair because I got two different picks. But what I was going to say really quick before we begin, guys, what a huge statement we're missing the boat on because of friggin' stupid Ronda Rousey crapping on the show at the end. The biggest statement of all. How big of a statement is it that both Rumble winners were of Japanese huge stars over in Japan, and they were Japanese. Like for WWE, that is humongous. Let's call a spade a spade. They always do in these huge Japanese talents that come to our company, come to WWE, they screw them up somehow. And I just thought that was really cool. I do. I think that's a step in the right direction, at least.
First two Japanese Rumble winners ever. Yokozuna was Samoan, so
born in San Francisco.
Yeah, I thought that was big. I hope people pick up on that. You know what I mean? Because I do give them a hard time and say they always screw up Japanese talent just for some reason. They always think because they're Japanese, there's going to be a natural disconnect because of the accent or maybe not being able to speak English enough, whatever have you. This was cool that they actually still got behind them, and those two were still the winners. I thought so, at least.
Yeah. I mean, and they were champions at the same time as in NXT, so I think this is a real sign of progress in the WWE diversifying what it sees as its major talent.
Seriously, and we'll get into this. This is start the show, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, look, not much to say about the Cruiserweight match.
1 second, guys. You guys get started. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay. Yep. Matt, did you watch much of the pre-show?
No.
Oh, you missed the Revival versus Gallows and Anderson. The Revival picked up a win. There was a cruiserweight match where the Lucha, Lince Dorado, Gran Metalik, and Kalisto picked up a win. And then the United States Open Challenge, Bobby Roode, Mojo Rawley came out and answered the challenge, and Bobby Roode retained. That was the pre-show.
They put Bobby Roode in the pre-show. Okay, go ahead.
I got to say this about doing that open challenge because that got a lot of people talking, especially with the news now that Lashley's probably coming in. Why would you advertise a surprise and deliver such a big letdown on a show where you're meant to get people to subscribe to the network to watch an event where surprises are like the big selling point? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like you're teasing a surprise.
For the pre-show, there was supposed to be a big surprise?
Yeah, it was an open challenge. So it was Bobby Roode doing this glorious U.S. title open challenge. And then it's answered by Mojo Rawley. Just announce, just say pre-show match, Roode versus Rawley, because when you're teasing a surprise and they see that's what you're delivering.
They were hoping people would subscribe to what you just said. You know what I mean? With hopes of it's going to be somebody big. And then the problem is they're pissed off now for ordering it for $9.99 and seeing that garbage.
Well, here's the crazier thing is that, so per Meltzer, it was supposed to be a big surprise, but they saved the surprise for the Rumble. I'm assuming that means Ziggler, that it was going to be Ziggler, and they saved Ziggler for the Rumble. I mean, who else from the Rumble? What, Hurricane? I mean, I don't think they would have wasted Rey Mysterio on the pre-show.
So real quick, these texts I'm getting. So Alicia Fox was out. She was originally scheduled to be in it. She broke her tailbone. She broke her tailbone during rehearsal for the Rumble.
So, legit.
Yeah, wow. During rehearsal yesterday. So,
good Lord.
Yeah.
Poor Fox. I wonder who took her spot at the last minute tonight.
How do you get hurt rehearsing? Not to sound like the world's biggest dick, but come on. How do you get hurt rehearsing getting thrown over the top rope?
Well, probably if you land on your tailbone.
Yeah.
Guys, they teach you this in training in wrestling school. It's like one of the first things you learn. Is besides lock up and chain wrestling is how to appropriately be tossed over the top rope.
Right. But to be fair, Fox has been around a long time and never gets injured. So
yeah,
I don't know if she could have been thrown the wrong way. It's hard to say.
Yeah. So kicking off the pay-per-view proper tonight, 2-on-1 handicap match for the WWE title, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. Matt, what do you think of the match?
I knew this would kick off the show, but the same token, it's like what we talked about on our SmackDown podcast that I joined the other day and absolutely demolished that show for you guys. It just it just, again, more and more of the same crap of how they, in my opinion, mistreat AJ as a world champion on that brand and SmackDown as a whole. I loved the finish. I love that AJ held on to it, but the title. But I don't know. I thought it was disrespectful to the brand and the show. But then I was thinking, the problem is the 2 Rumble matches screwed everything up as far as where do you put things? You know, where else would I put that match? And I couldn't think of anything other than first, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense there, right? I mean, look at what happened with...
Got to start off the show hot.
Yeah, Jordan and Rollins tonight against the Bar. That kind of died in that spot.
Yes, it did.
Even the Usos versus Gable and Benjamin, that, I mean, to have a 2 out of 3 falls match and have the Usos retain getting 2 falls in a row speaks to me like they were just finish it up. No one cares about this.
I actually like that because I think it's so predictable when you do a 2 out of 3 falls match and you alternate. And I like when sometimes the finish comes out of nowhere because then you're so trained on when the finish is coming out. In a WWE.
It was just long to get there, though. That's all.
Yeah, they were doing a lot of false finishes for that first fall. Like I don't think I recall ever in a 2 out of 3 falls match where the first fall had so many false finishes. But
so much so by the time they got to the first fall, I forgot it was 2 out of 3 falls. I assumed it was over after the first one. But that 2-on-1 handicap match, weird ending there. Kevin Owens took the pin from AJ, or pardon me. Yeah, Kevin took the pin from AJ Styles, but Kevin was not the legal man. Sammy never tagged him back in. Shane McMahon acknowledged that the tag never happened. I'm sure we will see a rematch Tuesday night on SmackDown Live.
It's going to continue to further the heat between Ian and Nate, right?
Yeah. Well, so that was the other rumor that I saw making the rounds about backstage Raw 25. They were trying to offer Daniel Bryan a chance that it was going to lead up to Daniel and Shane versus Kevin and Sammy. So I think it might be in the cards to keep this going. Did you see that? There's an unsubstantiated rumor.
No, he still hasn't been cleared. So
that's what the rumor was, that he was unhappy because that was going to be the olive branch to him, was like, oh, we'll let you go in this tag match. We'll do 5% of the work.
No. That's not true. They wouldn't let him in any match until he was 100% cleared.
Interesting.
Well, Raj, you're a reporter. Can you call it? I don't know how it works. Can you randomly call using your Commissioner Gordon bat phone and call WWE or somebody, one of your contacts, and say, like, I've had to have been medically cleared before I came back to Impact when I tore my pec, right? They wouldn't let me come back, and it was annoying me because it cost me a world title in that Bound for Glory series, and it pissed me off. And I was trying to give them documentation that I was ready to go. They wouldn't even read it. So my question is, can you find out from one of your contacts or whomever, like, what's taking Daniel Bryan so long? Why can't he just go get this done?
It's Dr. Maroon. Dr. Maroon will clear him.
Why can't he just fly in and get the guy to check him out, Dr. Maroon?
He has. But because of the number of concussions he's had, I think it's like with Christian. It's not necessarily because with concussions, it's not a definitive science, right? It's not like you can do one test and be like, okay, you're fine. I think they determined how severe the last concussion was and his history of concussions, and because of that, they refused to clear him, and that's what happened with Christian.
So then that's important. We state that so fans maybe like me that didn't understand how that works. Is this isn't like it's not his neck they're concerned with. It's not his back. It's not anything like that where he can just say, hey, look, here's an MRI. It's fine. It's healed. I'm ready to go. Although I did talk to Nowinski, and I do remember being told like the swelling of the brain or something of that can't be determined to point you in the right direction. But again, it's not an exact science, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's so new right now with CTEs and concussions, and I think just with everything that's going on, it's such a hot topic. I think they're just trying to. That sucks,
though. I'm such a dick for wanting to see a guy who's had like 39 concussions.
He wants to see it. Daniel Bryan wants to see it more than anyone.
I want to DB versus AJ more than anything. Like I would pay top dollar for that match. I swear to God, I would pay for the entire. To show you guys that I'm not Mr. Wrestler, that thinks he's cool because he was a wrestler. That I am a mark just like each and every one of you. I would pay $100. I swear to Christ. For the admission of that WrestleMania, for that one match, I really would.
Oh, that would be that'd be tremendous. I mean, that would be beyond
awesome. Speaking of mark out moments, Matt,
real quick, did you guys notice Byron Saxton snapping at Corey Graves during that opening match? Like he sounded like legit pissed. There was a lot of heat between the announcers tonight.
Good ass. Hell, they make the Carlton. Can you hear me? Oh, I'm not on.
I could hear you now.
He's cool as hell. He's a former stud athlete, Byron's, and I know him in real life. And I don't get why they keep making him do the Carlton routine.
But this was the first time he spoke back.
I was proud of him.
Yeah, no, it was great. And then Booker and Corey, and Michael Cole, they seemed like they were going to kill each other at a couple of points of the show.
Booker's annoying. He needs to go. Sorry, Book.
He's terrible. I think Percy Watson did a great job. They could easily replace him. He did a good job. I wouldn't say great. He was good. He's better than Booker.
He's better than Booker.
So should we jump right to the Rumble, or do we want to talk more about the 2 out of 3 falls, or?
I'm good.
Okay.
So did we say the winners?
Yeah.
Usos won 2 straight falls. AJ Styles beat.
Yeah. So 30-man Royal Rumble match. All my hopes and dreams of Rusev winning this thing crushed as he was number 1 to enter, followed by Finn Balor, who was in for a phenomenally long time.
50-something minutes.
Yeah. Looks for a while like he might have this. Rhino, Baron Corbin, Elias doing a full entrance, Slater coming in and getting a good joke there for a while, but him not even getting the ring. Andrade Cien Almas coming in. Big E, Ty Dillinger at 10 getting beat down, his place taken by Sami Zayn. We could go through
Slater getting just laying on the outside for a long time, just getting beat up by everyone coming to the ring.
I wanted them to save that to the end, that he just didn't make it in there until after all the guys were in, and then just got ejected immediately.
Seth Rollins wearing his old Bam Bam Bigelow Halloween outfit.
For me, man, Rey Mysterio. Raj, do you have any inside dirt on this? Is this a one-off? Is he back? Is he going to be on 205 Live?
I think it would be such a mistake to put him on 205 Live. He looked in fantastic shape. I remember last year he was negotiating with Impact and WWE. Just the last tapings he was negotiating with Impact. So I think with as much as they gave him, usually when with Hurricane or when they have someone and not under contract, they don't give him that much. And they gave Mysterio a lot. He was in there for a long time.
Yeah.
It makes it seem like he's there, but I don't know. I was surprised when I saw that. I thought that was one of the highlights of the match. It was awesome. I thought this whole match was really good. I wish this would have went on last, actually, because as a match,
really?
I thought as a match, it got you guessing. It was really well planned out. And at the end, everyone thought Roman Reigns could win it. And so the way that they did it, and then Nakamura ended up winning it, I thought it was really well done. So I thought it was just a really good Rumble match. It was one of the best ones in a while.
What?
Yes.
There were no surprises at all.
Mysterio.
Okay, I'll give you Ray.
Adam Cole, that's Andrade Cien Almas.
No, I didn't care about him. Adam Cole was kind of cool, but he's on NXT. I don't know, like a Rey Mysterio, more of that. Hurricane, that was a waste. I don't know. I did the surprise aspect of it sucked. Didn't fulfill same as last year. It didn't fulfill that. The reason I like the Rumble the most, to guess what the star from the past might come back.
I think we're running out of stars from the past too. How many stars from the past are able to even take a bump over the top rope?
What about guys like Bobby or MVP or?
Well, Lashley, if they do have him signed, you don't want him to come in to just get eliminated.
That's true.
So, especially if you're building him for Lesnar, you want to.
So listen, for as far as the aspect goes of surprises, it sucked, except for Ray. I liked Adam Cole too, but again, he's from NXT. We're going to see him on TV eventually. So I'm not you know what I mean? He'll be on WWE TV eventually. Anyway, so that part of it sucked, but the match itself, what do you mean? The fact that they had Cena and Roman in there at the end was annoying as hell.
I thought that was great because it made you think that one of those guys. It made you think there was a good chance.
Nobody thought those two were winning.
That's why the fans were crapping on the match at the end because they thought Reigns was going to win.
Did you see when the guy in the audience with flipping the double bird with the "You both suck" chant at them? That was awesome. I
thought the final four was tremendous. I thought the last 10 minutes of the match were great.
I didn't. Did you hear Cena get pissy because Go back and watch it again. He's so bad at talking out loud. But like he got pissed. You could see at Finn and Shinsuke for leaving them sitting there hanging a little bit with the "you both suck" chants.
Yeah, you heard him saying like, "Come on, get up." Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, no, John, sit in that shit. They're talking to you because you suck.
Yeah,
I kind of wanted Roman to win just because I thought the crowd was gonna start throwing like lit garbage on fire in the ring if that had happened.
They can't possibly be that stupid. I'm mad at them for being stupid enough to have him in the Final Four. I really am.
I think that was great because it just gave you that thing that they possibly could have Roman win, and it made it that much bigger when Nakamura threw him out.
What would have been cooler is 4 people on the like a Finn, like a Nakamura, you know what I mean, on that level. That would have been cooler because then you really wouldn't have known who would have won. I knew Nakamura was winning when it was just him, and there's no question about it.
Who else could you put in the Final Four? That those were like the 4 favorites with Finn, Nakamura, Cena, and Reigns.
There is no benefit of Roman winning that Rumble.
He's going to the main event of WrestleMania. Everyone knows it. And that's the thing.
Right.
Like that whole crowd knows that Reigns is facing Lesnar. So it's very probable that he wins this match to set that up.
I don't know. I didn't think anybody really believed Roman Reigns was going to win that.
You think when you heard Dolph Ziggler's music that he was going to win?
I did because of what you said.
Right? I know you did. You got me gassed up thinking he had a chance at winning, but I was hoping he'd win. That'd be cool, but.
Yeah, it's like I get the sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach sometimes, where I'm like, God damn it, Raj knew something. That's why Raj was saying that. He had
man, when Ziggler's music hit, I was like, shit. This is one of those times I don't want to be right, because I think Ziggler versus AJ would just suck. I mean, it would be a good match, but it would just really bring the SmackDown, the championship, down so many levels.
Isn't that a shame, too, because that would be the best worked match on the card. That's the saddest part about it.
Oh, it'd be great.
Or one of them.
Well, if they had been booking Ziggler properly, one of the biggest pops that I remember hearing on Raw was when he cashed in the Money in the Bank on Alberto Del Rio.
I will put that against any Raw pop. I'm being serious.
Yeah,
I would compare that to any other pop. If you guys go back and watch the whole thing, that was incredible. That pop.
Yep.
How do you go away from that?
Well.
Do you know what I mean?
How do you not say,
maybe I was wrong. Maybe he is a champion.
Yeah.
Maybe he is a bona fide main eventer. I mean, what the freak? Like, how else do you receive that message from your fans other than what you heard that night?
I don't put it on him. It's just once he got that concussion.
No, I put him on WWE.
Yeah, once he got that concussion, they booked him like a loser, and they would put him in the main event for a pay-per-view and then just bury him back down, underneath. So.
Well, they're just tone deaf to the crowd a lot. I mean, I thought it would have been smart, but I mean, look at tonight, Rusev, the love from the crowd he got overflowing onto Aiden English and Lana getting the Rusev Day chants.
Really? Because he got no reaction in his entrance, I thought, Aiden.
Well, Rusev?
Aiden English didn't get a reaction in his entrance.
No, you're right.
Because his theme music is garbage. Like
it
that
is. I was hoping
he'd
get a reaction. He looked good in there, didn't he, though? Like, his punches, he stiffed the shit out of Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aiden English, I think, is the most underrated physique in the WWE. He looks like a comic book character. He looks like a superhero with the way his muscles are defined.
Okay, but he's like Thin Man, though, in a superhero.
Yeah, he's not thick. If he was thick, he would look like Lashley. Because he's like this, but skinny.
Yeah, but you can see like the side abs and everything. I mean, he looks like
obliques.
No, but I'm saying he looks like someone like Jim Lee or Todd McFarlane or Rob Liefeld would draw with the level of detail and definition in his muscles. It's impressive.
So let's kind of run this down. So number 1 was Rusev. Who's number 2 again?
Number 2 is Balor. Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. So Finn Balor was the Iron Man this year, pretty much lasting till the end. There was no monster this year that had a ton of eliminations. It was just kind of even. Because usually every year there's one Iron Man and one monster, but this year they didn't do that. As we mentioned, there was a spot where you had Bray Wyatt was in there for a while, and Matt Hardy came out. Oh, God, man, they killed this thing. He came in for like 2 seconds, and him and Bray eliminated each other. The crowd chanted delete. Right. They want to like this thing, but that was about it.
They do want to like it. You're right.
Hurricane was in there for a minute. He was thrown out by Cena. Adam Cole was in there for a while.
I eliminated Hurricane.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Adam Cole. I love that. I love that the fan did his gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, I thought the weird part about it. So, Matt, to your point about how you bring back the old guys in the returns, I thought it was weird that we saw Cesaro, Sheamus, Seth Rollins in there when they had a match that followed this immediately.
Yeah. It felt weird.
Unnecessary.
I think that I wonder if this was a late decision to have the men's rumble earlier, like maybe Rousey, because Rousey is filming that movie. So I wonder if, she couldn't wrestle, so they weren't going to have her do it. And then they're like, well, maybe they figured out a way she can make an appearance without having to wrestle. And then once that came through, they moved the women's rumble to the end. Because it seemed odd the way it was planned out.
It does. Why couldn't she wrestle though?
Because during filming a movie, like The Rock can't do it anymore either.
Because of I got you. Yeah, okay, that makes sense then. That actually makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. And she's filming through mid-February, so this way she got to do an appearance without wrestling. Yeah.
I just think a couple more returns would have made this a little more. Remember, I think it was a good Rumble on the men's side, but yeah, I think it could have been just a little more for nostalgia. Would have been nice.
I think
too long as well.
I think they're running out of people. I think they're running out of people.
I was available. They didn't call me.
You lied. You said you would be number 3.
I said to be the Iron Man.
So I personally liked it. When I'm running down the list of people they could bring in, that list is dwindling. I mean, MVP, that's the same as the Hurricane in my opinion. I agree. So
it was weird they dropped MVP on the pre-show though when Rosenberg was talking to Ric Flair.
What about Jeff Jarrett?
Huh?
They're not going to bring Jeff Jarrett back.
That would have gotten a reaction, though.
It would have. But yeah, he's still trying to do Global Force and his own thing. So
is he? Really?
Yeah, he's still trying.
Oh man, it was weird having 2-hour-long matches in the same night.
Guys! I'm so sorry. James Storm.
Oh,
that would have been the perfect one.
Oh, James Storm would have been cool.
Yeah.
What the hell? I'm surprised. Oh man. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wonder how the coordination of that goes. Like, I wonder how far in advance they booked Hurricane for this. I'm sure
those are done very, very. I promise you, very late. Those are not done like well. We need Hurricane. Like in week 2 of the planning. It's we got some open spots here that we're going to use as surprises, and we'll come up with a list and see who's interested in coming. A lot of times they're not interested in coming. Like I'm being honest. I told you Royal Rumble the year my son was born. That was supposed to be my re-debut. It wasn't supposed to be me come in and be a one-off. I was going to be sticking around. A 3-year deal, the whole 9. And my son was born January 7th instead of January 21st. I think the Rumble was. And I told you I switched one off in my head that I'm done with wrestling. But again, it just goes to show you not every time that they bring somebody back is it just a one-off.
So here's my question. That video, the Tron they showed with Ray with all the different masks with his eyes, was that the video he was using at the end of his last WWE run?
Yeah.
Same video?
Oh, yeah. It's cool.
Well, yeah. Hey, I popped huge for that. I thought that was a great surprise.
Yeah. Mysterio was awesome. And he looked tremendous. So I'm hoping it wasn't a one-off.
Yeah.
Sticks around.
Well, we'll see. 205 Live is announcing its new commissioner on Tuesday. So, stranger things have happened. Who knows at this point with 205 Live? I mean, honestly, I think it would save the show if they're interested in saving it.
No.
Nothing can save it.
There's nothing that can save it.
All right, well, then they just need to pull the plug.
Why take a guy who's a legit draw and put him on a show watched by 100,000 people? It's not even under top 10 network shows, much less, a show seen by 3 million people every week.
Yeah. It's cursed. We shall see.
It's a dead division.
Yeah.
Okay, so following Shinsuke Nakamura's win, and he did announce he wants to face AJ for the SmackDown title.
He did?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, man,
that'll be a great match.
Well, why do you sound disappointed with that?
Yeah, you want to see Shinsuke versus Brock?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do, but
I do. There's your answer.
No, you're right.
So they did make a point of saying that they get to choose the champion. So you would think that means one of them is choosing the other person. So I'm guessing Asuka might be facing Charlotte.
Because in years past,
but then who does Rousey face? Because Rousey and Alexa doesn't seem right, you know.
Rousey has the championship if she's against what's her name? You just said her name, the shorter one.
Alexa, because I don't see her versus Charlotte would look good, you know. But Charlotte winning, it would be very paramount.
Yeah, I think. I wonder if Asuka, they do an angle where Asuka has to defend her spot in the Elimination Chamber, loses it to somebody who loses, you know. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, loses the WrestleMania. You know, they've done that before, where they put up their WrestleMania title shot.
Ken Anderson
Fastlane
with his. Yeah, they've done that. They've also done with briefcases, right?
And they did it with Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Remember at Fastlane, Reigns put it up against Daniel Bryan, so they could do that. And I don't know. I can't see Ronda in a championship match unless it's a long-term thing. Well, listen, maybe it is. I asked Triple H that last week, and he made it sound like she's in it for the long haul.
Here we go. According to a story published by ESPN.com, following Rousey's appearance, the former MMA star has reportedly come to terms with WWE to be a full-time superstar.
Oh, full-time.
Yeah, it's on WWE.com. It's on ESPN.com. ESPN has an in-depth story about this. Yes, this is my life now. First priority on my timeline for the next several years. This is not a smash and grab. This is not a publicity stunt. Rousey told ESPN on her decision to join the WWE.
I believe her. I totally believe her. She's a huge mark. She loves wrestling.
Yeah. Yep. It's a top story on Wrestling Inc. right now, too.
Oh, make sure you guys check it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
why would you not credit Wrestling Inc.? You're horrible, Glenn.
I was looking at the WWE story.
Looking at
I refreshed it to see if there was an update, and it linked me to ESPN.
Well, for the listeners listening and not watching yet,
go to
maybe watching later, I only get my news from Wrestling Inc.
Thank you, sir.
And he's talking about all his news, too. He wants the weather. He goes to Wrestling Inc. He wants to know what's going on with the school district. He goes to Wrestling Inc.
I figured I won my election based on me finding the news out on Wrestling Inc.
Did you really?
No, what?
We did report it pretty fast.
We had a party.
So I'm sure tomorrow night we will know more about Ronda Rousey, which brand she's going to, what the story is. My worry is that, you know, look, she's got to go to Raw, right? You're not going to waste this on SmackDown.
What a horrible thing to say.
I say that as a SmackDown fan, but Matt, come on. For real? Like, you're going to put Ronda on SmackDown?
Come on, Matt, for real.
Yeah, she's on Raw for sure.
You know, but then does Asuka? I mean, Asuka then has to go to SmackDown, or else it's just going to be, I don't know. I think.
I don't know. They don't have any problems loading up Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, look where it is now. You would think between Reigns and Cena and Braun and Brock that someone would be on SmackDown, but no.
And just like that, Nia Jax is now pushed out of the title picture. You see that?
Nia, Sasha.
Where does she fit in?
I mean,
Nia, I kind of had a feeling, you know what I mean? She was right around getting her first title soon. I really did. After maybe Mania, somehow she got a Mania match. I really thought so.
Yeah, she's improved a lot.
She has.
Yeah, man.
So let's get to the let's get to that tag match.
Oh,
man,
yeah,
this was not. I mean, this was in a death spot as it was after that. You know, fans were going crazy for Nakamura. This is usually where you put the cool down match. Like, they should put a cruiserweight match or something here.
Yeah.
And if Jordan was 100%, normally this would have been a match of the night. You know, Jordan and Seth Rollins against the Bar. But here with Jordan injured, he didn't take. He took one spot and he was out. This match sucked.
It didn't have to happen tonight. They could have held this for tomorrow easily, and no one would have batted an eye.
That's a good call, but you needed something here. And maybe you did throw a cruiserweight out. You had to do something, though, to literally – this is a horrible thing to say. But what you're talking about is accurate. You have to put something in this spot to literally cool the crowd down. Not to make them, like, not care, obviously. But nobody like, reaches for that goal. Like, all right, I'm going to go out there and put them to sleep. So our main event's even better.
Well, no.
Comparison.
Right, but exactly. Right, Matt. Because you just had an hour-long match, too. A lot of people are going to want to get something to drink, get something to eat, go to the bathroom. Yeah. You need something to just kind of kill a little time. This would have been back in the day when they used to do intermissions. This would have been a good spot to do an intermission.
Definitely.
Like, what would you do? Like, go back to the show hosts or something on the desk and say,
"Yeah,
hey, you remember like back way when we were kids when they would do those like 15-minute intermissions and they would do some backstage interviews and they would just cut away for like 5-10 minutes. It gives people a chance to regroup and you'd have the counter on the screen that counts down. So.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true. They used to do that.
Yeah, especially a 6-hour show like this. It just gives people
brutal.
Yeah.
Something. But the problem is, I think that because of Jordan being out of the match and the way it worked, I mean, I felt like the momentum didn't even fully get back up for the triple threat. Now, Matt, you missed this match, Kane versus Strowman versus Lesnar.
Yes, the match I want to see most.
What did you think of this, Raj?
Did Braun win? Did Braun win?
No, Lesnar.
No.
Yeah, no, it was exactly what most people expected. Lesnar,
but like a quicker, less exciting
F5 on Kane.
But it was short, and it wasn't that interesting. There were a couple good spots, but
they tried. Again, the crowd still wasn't into it. Like they were still quiet from the Rumble.
I was gonna say, were they behind Braun?
I felt like they weren't really behind anyone.
Yeah,
they were just kind of there.
It was weird. This was the weirdest of Brock's title defenses since Mania.
You got to check it out, though. There was one spot where Braun kneed Lesnar, and it looked like Lesnar was pissed, and then he legit punched Braun. I mean, that part is just worth watching by itself. You could tell, like, when they're work punches and when they're not. And this was like, early. It was a receipt.
Yeah,
he's the best. I swear to he's the best. I swear to God, he's Captain Caveman in real life. It's the best to watch. His stuff backstage is way funnier. If you were to put a camera on Brock Lesnar, like how he talks to people and how he gets like pissed at people, it's the best. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember the interview, bro, that he did where they were talking about Conor McGregor and asking him questions, and he was like getting pissed and annoyed? Like, that's really Brock.
Yeah, that was like at a SummerSlam party or something like that.
Yes.
Well, like after that Brock Randy Orton match that him and Chris Jericho got in an altercation, I would have loved if there was a camera back there to watch that.
Chris, he's tough. He's undercover tough, man.
Dude, that is balls to stand up to Brock and approach him. Man,
doesn't care. Once you've been in enough fights, he is alpha. You're not scared to get your ass kicked off. If you've been in enough fights eventually.
Dude, he approached Lesnar and Goldberg. Remember, he approached Goldberg back in the day too.
Didn't he put him down though, like WCW or something? No, WWE locker room, right?
Yeah, it was WWE. Shortly after Goldberg came in, they had a little tussle, and Jericho took him down. So the alpha thing isn't just a saying.
Right, he's legit tough.
So fans were pretty dead. This match it just never got going. It was kind of sloppy. They just didn't seem like it never clicked.
Yeah.
One thing to remember with big guys.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys. One thing to remember with big guys, we really do rely on having a smaller opponent that creates the movement for us. And so when you put 3 big dudes in there, like unless Brock Lesnar's bumping feeding, you know what I mean? Like for a comeback and then ducking clotheslines and coming off the cross bodies and picking up the rhythm of the match, it's tough. It is.
Yeah, but you remember the SummerSlam 4-way where it was 4 big guys with Brock, Strowman, Joe, and Reigns, and that match was freaking awesome.
Yeah, but they had the element of that's true. It was good. It's just I don't know. I just with those 3 specifically with you have Braun and Kane, they ain't doing it. Roman was, believe it or not, Joe. We're doing like some flying through the ropes thing, flying through the blaze or whatever the hell it's called, shit like that.
Yeah. There was one part. Kane looked kind of. He looked old, kind of. He looked kind of out of, just kind of out of. He is, near 50. And there's one part he was going to like choke slam Braun through the table set up in the corner, and Braun just kind of threw himself in. It was really awkward. And the announcers were kind of like trying to explain it like, oh, Braun kind of threw himself in to brace himself, for the table, and just really awkward. So
I'm going to watch that. Okay.
Yeah. So bad match, considering how many tables were broken and all the weapons and stuff they used. It just never got
fast. And I forgot Kane was in it until he ate the pin. I mean, it was weird. And then Braun was taunting. Brock and Heyman like rushed out of the ring. Braun was taunting, saying, "Hey, you didn't pin me." So I'm sure we will get a rematch at some point between them.
There's no way it could be Braun versus Brock at Mania, huh?
Not based on the master plan that's been in motion for a year now, which looks like it's happening.
Do you know who it is? Do you know who Braun's facing at Mania?
I did. I read the rumor the other day.
Triple H?
Nope.
The Miz, right?
The Miz.
Come on!
Yeah.
I'm a huge Miz fan. You all know I am. I love him. What though? Come on.
Yep, that's what it is.
At least Braun will win.
What are they doing with this guy? I don't care. Dude, this dude was white hot. We're actually saying that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Braun Strowman, okay, was actually white hot. And you guys don't understand how difficult it is. I'll keep repeating this on Blue in the Face. To be a big man nowadays in this industry with a bunch of sideshow midget piss hands, all they do is flip-flop and fly, okay, to get over is next to impossible, and especially as a babyface. Who can say they can relate to a 7-foot, 300-pound guy, right? It's unrelatable. He's going against the grain in every way and hitting home runs. You know what I mean? Of getting over organically. Everyone organically loves him. What are they doing? Like this, Vince has been looking for this, I swear to you, for like 20 years and paid many of us big guys to come in and try to do it. And Braun's doing it.
I agree. And even at house shows.
I think they want to give Braun a title, and they don't want to do the world title right now since Reigns is going. I know. I agree with you 100%.
He's so past that, man.
Yeah, I agree. And when I saw that, I was like,
fuck.
What the hell?
It really pisses me off.
I thought for sure they were building Triple H after what they did at Survivor Series. I mean, the Survivor Series, that seems like just a complete waste now.
It does.
Yeah.
It was like just a way for Triple H to beat someone, beat a bunch of people, and then say, hey, I laid down for Strowman afterwards.
But SummerSlam, maybe we get Roman versus Braun, each holding a title, or maybe we get Brock versus Braun, a rematch, and Brock's the title holder to win.
I don't want to wait that long, okay? Because I'm telling you guys right now, Braun is not, as a babyface, it's going to be difficult for him to hold on to whatever magic he's caught in the bottle right now. Eventually, they're going to screw up his booking. There's only so many trucks he can tip over and sets he can pull down and all these other smoke and mirrors that they've done a good job with him at. Okay, eventually it's gonna run its course, and they didn't cash in on the cash cow, and they had the opportunity. They should have done it. We all said it at the ambulance spot, right? That was his Austin 316 moment. I'll say that again till I die, and they completely missed it.
But he's gonna run through the Miz Taraj and the Miz.
You know what? Okay, I will say this: the Miz Taraj is annoying as hell, and not in a good way. Like seriously, they annoy me, not in a good heat way either. I'm saying, okay, but like. I will say this: the Miz, I can see doing some good promo work. Obviously, setting up the stuff with Braun that may make Braun look entertaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like his 1 or 2 word promos. You know what I mean? Where he just basically comes in there like Hulk smash, like smashes his head. You know what I mean? Silly things like that he does that are pretty funny.
Yeah. Hey, maybe the Miz will have room in the Miz Taraj. Bring back Sandow. As the stunt double. And everybody wins.
Great. I watched that again.
Oh man.
What was next?
So actually this is notable. We saw the first new footage of Hulk Hogan on the WWE network tonight in the trailer for the Andre the Giant documentary.
That wasn't that's the HBO trailer.
But WWE has
HBO, they're doing a documentary on Andre the Giant. This is the trailer they sent to us too. This is an HBO, so they're gonna. Cool. I mean, the Ric Flair stuff had Hogan in it too, and WWE will they'll air Hogan in their stuff now. They just won't bring him back.
Documentary looks fantastic, by the way.
When will it air on HBO?
April 10th, I believe. So it's, I think a day or two after WrestleMania. What's WrestleMania? April 8th or 6th?
Yeah, it's the second weekend, I believe.
He was my favorite of all time, Andre.
Andre and Hogan, to this day, I compare all feuds to that. You know, as far as these two superhuman, iconic characters, and you know, just
undefeated for 18 years.
Yeah, even though that wasn't true, but as a kid, you don't you're not reading these. Yeah, you're not a historian when you're a kid. You know? Right. And so, do you look that up, Glenn?
Oh, when it's airing? WrestleMania is the 8th, Sunday.
So,
April.
Okay, cool.
It's probably around then, right?
I got it here on Wrestling Inc. Let me bring it up real quick because it looks fantastic, the documentary.
That's so cool. They showed his early footage when he was throwing drop kicks and shit.
April
he was
10th.
A stud.
April 10th. So after SmackDown, or the night of SmackDown.
Yeah. So Women's Rumble, Maria Menounos came out as a guest ring announcer. Stephanie on commentary, which I know a lot of people were really expecting the worst. I didn't think she was terrible.
No, I thought that was Beth Phoenix at first. I missed Stephanie coming out to get on the headset. I really did.
Wait, you didn't think she was terrible?
Compared to what it could have been? I mean...
Oh, man.
What was terrible about her?
First, so here's the first thing about this whole thing, about the whole Women's Royal Rumble. When the UFC booked the first Ronda Rousey fight, they said yes. When they announced it, they're like, it's a historic fight. And then they treated it just like a big fight. It's not constantly running it, you know, shoving it down your throat that this is history and this is you know, every time someone a legend would come out, Stephanie's like, oh, she was a big part of the women's revolution, oh, she's a big part of why we're all here. It was just constant. It takes away from the you know, it should be about the match and what's at stake and they're facing the champion.
You're right, but our business, I'm sorry, Glenn.
No, to your point. To your point, I was going to restate, so go for it.
I'm sorry. The way our business works, though, especially if you performed, is we're very big on respect. Very big on respecting those that came before us or have put in time. You know what I mean? At all. And we I don't want to say we overdo it, but kind of do. And the other thing is, you got to remember, WWE has hard-ons for speaking in sound bites non-stop, right? So they go overboard with those sound bites. Those were all sound bites. Everything she said was a soundbite.
Right. And look, I agree that you should. I think all those legends should have been in there. I think it was great. But again, if that first Rousey fight, if Dana White's just sitting at ringside talking about all the stuff he's done for women and all how progressive UFC is, and not talking about the actual match itself, you could put the women over you know what they've done, what they've accomplished. Lita, first main event on Raw, but just the constant sound. It's just nerve-wracking. It just drove me nuts.
But it makes sense given the bookend with Ronda now being announced as a full-time performer. I'm telling you, this was a setup to talk about the rich. I mean, in a way, for them to paint this picture of a rich history of a women's division in the WWE, and now they're taking it to the next level by getting, as you said it, the most world-famous female athlete on their roster as a full-timer. It's telling the story they want to tell.
You know what? I think the booking of women is worse than it used to be. Because you look at Trish and Mickie James, you could say, wow, they had a classic feud. There were different women you could get in face to face and be like, oh, wow, they had a great feud. There's no two current women on the main roster that have had that on the main roster. You've had Sasha and Becky in NXT, but not on the main roster. There's no like great feud where you're like, wow, that was, you're like, you know, going nuts for it.
We still need to give some of this a little bit more time. Okay. Like, it's been what, 2 years since the Women's Revolution? How long has it been? 2 years?
I'm saying the last 5 years. I'm saying since Trish
but I'm
left.
asking you, but how long is the Women's Revolution? How long has it been? 2 years?
3 years, I think.
When Stephanie made the announcement, it's been 2 years, right? 3?
When she divided everyone up into teams, that was like, I think it was 2 to 3 years ago. Yeah.
It was
summer 2015.
Okay, because it was when they brought up Charlotte, they brought up Sasha, the division changed. It stopped being the BS Bellas and the rest of these other chicks that can't work a lick, and now they're bringing up the NXT studs finally that night, whenever the hell that was, 2 years ago. Like, okay, so I can understand the booking aspect of it where it's annoying and it's not as good what you're saying, but you cannot argue with me that it's not a better division.
No, the wrestling is better, but the characters and the storylines are way worse. Right.
And they get more time.
Yeah, the wrestling and the matches are better. They get more specialty matches, but they clump them all together, and you don't have those real individual characters and rivalries.
Okay, the only thing I disagree with is the character part, because the Michelle McCool era, I thought those were horrible characters. The only one they had, in my opinion, that was decent character-wise was Beth Phoenix. If we're talking gimmicks and characters, right?
Yeah.
Our girls now, I think, I don't know, they all look very different from one another for the most part. And I do think they're very definitive in who they are.
No, I agree. Look, I agree that they differentiate. I'm talking about the booking. Like, they don't book them into good feuds. When you do an 8-man tag every week and you just throw them all together, you're not creating those cool rivalries that people are going to remember down the road.
And
all you can remember is like they were in 6-man tags and 8-man tags every week.
And it seems like they're saving it for something all the time. And then they screw it up, like tonight with Sasha throwing Bayley out. That better go somewhere.
Yeah.
That better go somewhere.
I don't think they think enough of Bayley to have it. I don't think they think enough of Bayley to have it going.
How is she on the merchandise list? Do you know?
I think she's falling greatly. I mean, we were in Philly. This is another example where she came out and it was crickets. Whereas if she had never gone to the main roster, she would have gotten a gigantic pop.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was like nothing.
So I just go to WWEshop.com. Top thing, you can get the Hot Ronda t-shirt already on sale. The Rowdy Ronda Rousey gear.
Of course you can.
Top thing they're selling.
Hey, top 10 of merch.
Man, so I'm just sort of searching by best
You're not
sellers.
looking by bestsellers, right?
No, I am right now. I just turned it on.
Okay.
Is she on there? Is Bayley generally usually on there?
You know what the number 3 top selling thing is? The Enzo and Cass Cup of Haters t-shirt, because it's marked down to $5. So it's Stone Cold, The Shield, Enzo and Cass, Raw 25, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, D-Generation X, Enzo and Cass again in the women's shirt, interestingly enough. Shinsuke Nakamura, John Cena, The Rock, Rusev Day, Cesaro, NWO Retro, and then a Bayley Hugger's Gonna Hug Muscle Tank is down. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's number 15, the 15th biggest seller currently on WWE Shop. But it's the biggest women's merch.
Why a tank top?
Or it's a sleeveless shirt. I don't know. It's a muscle tank. But you see,
that's also clearance. That's $3.99.
No. Yeah.
The reason I was asking that was just simply because if I was going to agree with you or not.
You broke up a bit there.
They believe when they don't believe in a talent, they believe in the merch.
Yeah,
not really. Rusev was killing it with the sales, and you look at what they've done with him.
I bought a goddamn Rusev Day calendar because I was like, oh, and like those are gonna sell out because the demand. You
bought the Rusev Day calendar,
because I was like, this is so silly that I'm kind of into it, you know. Also, like when they do merch for grown-ups, you know. It's like Slam Crate, our longtime sponsor, Slam Crate. You guys, I'm sure, saw on the list and getting it. I love that they sent out a WWE Day Planner. I was like, this is the most adult piece of merch I've ever received. Yeah, man, I don't know. But to your point with the women, it's because they book these things like we're booking the women's segment for this week. And, we're going to have 2 women's segments on Raw. And they do that instead of saying, what are the stories we want to tell? Who are the characters? Who are the talents? And doing it that way and treating it democratically, regardless of gender. Instead, they're just lumping them all in, and they build up one story for the pay-per-view, maybe 2 if it's Raw, and it's just wash, rinse, repeat. It's terrible. And now between Ronda and Asuka, if they're both on Raw, God help the other ladies on the Raw roster, because, I mean, look at Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss, longest women's title reign.
She's going to be in the freaking janitor's closet.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, forget being on the show. She's going to be freaking sweeping the arena.
Title reign is.
I don't know if she'll be going into WrestleMania as champion.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's a shame because she's another one that I was very thoroughly entertained by.
Yeah. Quick correction, Molly Holly. I said earlier she hadn't won any title. She had won the women's title twice and the hardcore title. Totally forgot about her thing with Gail Kim. Tori Wilson was in there. So some of the surprises. Lita, Tori Wilson, Jackie. Tori Wilson looked amazing. And Raw 25 also. I mean, good God.
So did Jackie.
Yeah, she's in great shape.
Jackie's like old.
Yeah, she's like 50, right?
Yep. And she's I think you guys all know this, right? She's the most badass of all them women, right? In real life. Like she's legit.
Yeah.
She beats chicks up, man.
Yeah. So you had Kairi Sane, Tamina Snuka, Dana Brooke, current roster, Sonya Deville, Liv Morgan, Molly Holly, Lana, Michelle McCool, Molly Holly, who lied to me, who I interviewed last week, and she said she hadn't been contacted about the Royal Rumble, and didn't tell me off the record that she was just kayfabing.
You know Molly, right? Do you know her?
No. I don't know her.
She is as straight-laced, goody two-shoes as they come. She's such a good...
that's why I believed her.
She's like too good of a human being, honestly, for our business. I swear to God. That's what everyone always says about her. So, like, I'm telling you, when they tell her to kayfabe something, oh, yes, Mr. McMahon, yes, sir.
Well, yeah, I even told her, I was like, if you're in the Rumble, let's just do the interview after, and I won't say anything, and we'll just do it after.
Okay, then maybe she wasn't then. Maybe she didn't know
yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they went to lengths to cover it up. I mean, Ronda Rousey posted that video of her at the airport, TMZ at the airport.
Yep.
Her makeup artist on the film posted something on Instagram. Everyone saying on the internet's like, oh, no, she can't make it.
That's where it started getting suspicious, when they're overdoing it. She doesn't ever post anything on her Instagram, and all of a sudden she's trying hard to say that she's not going to be at the Rumble. You know what I mean?
I don't follow her enough to know that, though, about what she posted, what she doesn't.
Yeah.
The TMZ coverage did a good job. It fooled me, I thought.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. So Vicky Guerrero was there, Kelly, Jackie, as we mentioned,
Ember Moon, Beth Phoenix,
Brie Bella, Ember Moon,
and Nikki Bella,
Brie and Nikki, and
how was Ember Moon's?
Trish Stratus at number 30, which was awesome because I think they would have crapped on anyone else because they were expecting Ronda Rousey at number 30. So.
Yeah,
were they really? They were expecting Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, there were those chants, and you saw everyone standing up, and there were Rousey chants starting, and then the fact that it was Trish, like if it was Dana Brooke, it would have been a very different reaction.
Ooh, Roman Reigns revisited,
or Rey Mysterio that year when everyone was expecting Daniel Bryan.
Come around, as part of what happened tonight with Ray coming out and getting his just due from that Philly crowd finally.
Yeah, it's like they made it up to him.
Right, yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Kelly, I mean, I know you in the ring.
She's hot. That's it.
She looks amazing. But she is only 30. She just turned 30 like last year. So
my wife can't stand her. She says she watches her on the WAG show and she is a capital B. I'm like, well, that's actually good. If she can do I don't watch the show, so if she's some sort of heel in the show, that'd be great. And I consider putting on the Diva show for sure.
Yeah.
Biggest surprise to me was only 2 women from NXT tonight.
How was Ember Moon's response? I don't know why I didn't see her.
She got a big response. You know, every NXT person, you know, even Andrade Cien Almas got a bigger response tonight than he did last night at TakeOver, even though he had in one of my favorite matches I've seen in forever.
It wasn't bigger than Adam Cole's, was it?
I don't know. Maybe it was close because it was earlier. So I think he was kind of like one of the first big surprises.
Love that fact Adam Cole was selling from last night still.
Yeah. And Ember Moon as well. And I like that little interaction with Asuka mocking her about the arm.
Yeah.
I have to say Asuka tonight, I saw definite improvement in terms of in the ring character and telling a story. Okay. Well, no, you know what you're saying, Matt. It's like you saw more expression from her. We're getting beyond just I'm the badass and I'm undefeated. She had some swagger tonight that I feel like
definitely
more personality.
I think she's always had swagger.
Yeah, it came through a little more to me tonight. But I liked it. I like she had all the interaction in the spots, and it wasn't just what we'd seen before. I think for her, I mean, look, she's already a star, but this tonight, I mean, look, if not for the Ronda Rousey thing, I think this would have just further. It still is going to launch her, but I think Ronda's going to put a ceiling on that.
Kairi Sane looked good. I really like Kairi Sane. It just that pirate stuff just bugs me.
Just a cheesy gimmick.
It's just like if Roman Reigns just dressed up like a cowboy for no reason while going to the ring, you know, and even though it has nothing to do with who he is.
Right.
It's just random. And he does this, you know, he'll do a lasso move, but he has nothing to do with a cowboy. I don't know.
I was gonna say Roman as a pirate would actually be pretty sweet. You know?
No, it wouldn't.
Like some Jack Sparrow braids going on, you know, it'd be good.
I will say the legends that they had tonight, they all look great. Like none of them looked like you're worried or out of shape or anything like that. They all stayed in tremendous shape and they looked awesome.
That last generation of women, though, you got to remember, not Trish and Lita, but the generation, Michelle McCool, Beth Phoenix era, they left the business earlier than most normally do.
Yeah.
The Kelly Kellys, you know what I mean? They put in, 5 years and bounced?
Yeah.
So they're not old, so they should look good.
Yeah, that's true. But like Jackie and
but Tori, no, Tori's older. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Tori's in her 40s. Yeah, they looked awesome. Again, when I'm dogging on how the women are booked, I'm dogging on how they're booked, not themselves. I just feel like there's a lot of great characters there, and they could be doing a lot more. And
that's why
and it's not because of them; it's because of the booking and the way they're scripted and being clumped together.
Are you being lit up on the comment board?
Not lit up. A couple of people are saying I'm being too hard on the women's division. Like it's not. I'm being hard on the women's division booking for sure.
You know what though? I think so this is where Ronda is going to be good for the women's division. I think Ronda gets us a huge, giant step closer to a women's pay-per-view. And potentially to them doing something more stuff on the network to showcase that division, because there is a fan base for it there tonight. And on social media tonight, that's what everyone was popping for. So, if you have any criticisms about the match, about the spots tonight, everyone loved seeing those women come back. They remember them. They have fondness for them. And I think it's kind of what we're talking about with this. It's that you've built this division with these athletes who are also characters, and you're not giving them storylines. You're not giving them room to tell a story and do anything meaningful beyond these limited segments each week. And I think Ronda being there, if she doesn't just suck up all the oxygen out of the room, I think she could lead to more interest in that, and the WWE investing more time in that division as a whole.
Yep. I think it's a big positive.
Well said, Glenn.
She revolutionized MMA to an extent. She took it. Gina Carano, I think, had a huge part in that. Definitely. And then Ronda Rousey just took it to the next level.
I'm glad you gave her props, because she definitely did, bro.
For sure. I was there. I was at the arena. I was covering that fight for Fightline when I owned that site, when Carano fought Cyborg, and that was the first mega women's match, women's fight.
That broke my heart.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I was trying to be impartial, but
hey, speaking of your other endeavors, when's the XFL fan site coming back?
I don't know if we go through all that trouble for it to just.
What do you mean? Wait, what?
Well, Raj used to have the premier XFL site back in the day.
Yeah, xflpro.com.
And what would you do on it?
It was XFL news, and the most traffic. It got a lot of traffic until the league actually launched, and then 2-3 weeks in, it
so like you announce signings or something like that, or people get injured.
Yeah, cover the games and injuries and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow, they're lucky you did that.
yeah. No one else would cover them.
Right.
Well, we'll see how it is in the lead up to 2020.
I let that domain go though, so I think someone else has probably got it.
Yeah. So all in all, Matt, I know. Okay, so yeah, and then
run us through the finish real quick, Glenn.
No,
okay,
the finish of that match.
The finish of the women's match. Yeah. So it came down to the Bellas in the ring with Asuka and Sasha. Sasha got eliminated by the Bellas, which I thought was awesome when she was going to eliminate Asuka, or just do the drop the knees on Asuka there. Nikki Bella turned on Brie Bella, and then finally, Asuka took out Nikki and won. And then that was happening. She was in the ring with Charlotte and Alexa. There was a little stare down, and then wouldn't you know it, Ronda Rousey's music hit. She came in the ring, pointed at the sign, tried to shake Asuka's hand. Asuka slapped her hand away, and Ronda went over, shook Stephanie's hand, and we went to trademark copyright 2018 World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yep, that was it. I mean, it was a they should have ended it with this, because it had Rousey. If it didn't have Rousey, they should have ended it with the men's match.
And she managed. Let's just be clear one more time, because I love Ronda Rousey as a fighter, as a woman in general. With what I mean, with her, what is it? Do nothing. I'm not a do nothing bitch or whatever.
Right.
She's awesome, but I don't get how she does not know how to translate it to a wrestling ring.
She tries too hard. She tries too hard.
I think that's
what
it is. I think you're right.
She needs to, because so much of wrestling is being yourself and allowing that to come out, as opposed to feeling like you have to act a certain way.
Yes, you're right. She just needs to be herself, dude. She's entertaining enough.
Yeah. Like we said, she's a bad actress for the most. I mean, not a bad actress, but not a great actress. And just bring yourself out as opposed to trying to act like something else.
Yes. That chick. Listen, that bad B. Right before the bell rings in her MMA fights, that is beaming a hole across the octagon through her opponent with that mean mug that she has, right?
Mm-hmm.
That girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's who I want to see.
Yeah.
But we gotta, one thing we gotta remember: this is a huge get for WWE. I mean, it's like signing McGregor. Yeah,
full time. No Brock says. I'm sure we'll have details tomorrow, but I'm going to start doing house shows.
I love that. She's gonna have like a Brock schedule.
Brock schedule, definitely. But look, full-time employee. That's great for them. You're right. That's a huge get. But let's be clear. This is not the same Ronda from a few years ago. She's lost.
Oh, for sure.
That is the problem. That Bruce Pritchard always just says that he doesn't care if an MMA fighter loses or not. He can still book around it. If they lose, you make them a heel in wrestling, right, and whatnot. He used to say that about King Mo. I remember. I disagree with that because I think if you're someone as badass as Conor or especially Ronda, where the whole gimmick is nobody can beat them. Once that veil has been lifted, there is a certain decrescendo in my opinion, in their badassness now. You know what I mean? That mystique is now gone. And Ronda is not the same that she was 3 years, whenever the hell she lost. Twice.
She's not, but remember, Lesnar also lost 3 fights before he came back.
Lost some of that. I'll be the first to tell you he lost some of that as well.
Oh, yeah, he did. Well, he wouldn't be in WWE if he won those fights.
But let's also be clear. I don't think he'd be WWE either if he wasn't previously there as a stud champion for many years before he left.
So let me ask your prediction on this then, Matt.
I mean, what would be the difference between him and Overeem? You know what I mean? Being signed if he never was with WWE in the first place, the first time around.
Okay, so who has that undefeated magic right now? Asuka. Are they going to break that and drop that to Ronda to give her?
They effing better not. I swear to God, I will kick my TV in.
I think you go. With the way they finished tonight, it almost looked like Ronda and Asuka were going to go separate ways. You go Ronda and Charlotte, Asuka.
That's what's going to happen.
And Alexa, and I think that's the way you go. And you save Ronda and Asuka for further down the road. You don't give that away right off the bat.
Right, hell no. Right, 100%. I agree with that. That's what that was tonight. She spent a little bit too much time in Charlotte's face, I thought.
You know what I
mean? Am I breaking up?
Yeah, you broke up there for a second.
You're good.
What I said was she will face the opposite champion that Asuka doesn't pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see Asuka going to SmackDown if Ronda's going to be on Raw.
Yeah, I think that's the reason they made that whole step. Why they made that a big deal that you could choose the champion. Because
you think they move Charlotte over to Raw?
Oh man, that really hurts SmackDown if they do that. I think you move Asuka to SmackDown. If you're moving Rousey to Raw, that's that.
But Ronda versus Alexa. I mean, I love Alexa, and look. First off, Alexa will bury Ronda on the mic and make Ronda look very bad compared to Charlotte.
They won't script that. They're not going to script Alexa to make Rousey look bad. They're going to script Alexa to be scared and doesn't want to face her.
I hate that.
Yeah, but that's what they were doing with Nia. And
yes, they were.
They were doing that with Asuka. They're going to do the same thing. If they let Alexa keep the title till then, they might have her drop it.
Okay, question: why would they not put her? I know the answer you're going to give me, and I'm hoping you're not going to give it to me though. Why not put Ronda on SmackDown to help improve that show as a whole? It's on network TV. It's not on some little crap side channel anymore, Sci-Fi. It's on their USA network television broadcast. Why wouldn't they just try to beef up SmackDown by putting her on that?
They just have that mentality that Raw is the A show and it's all hands on deck for Raw and the other stuff goes on SmackDown. That's just always been like that way. It's like they get a big surprise, they get a big guest, it's always on Raw. And they'll go like a few weeks where they try to even them out, like when the season changes or something.
And stuff. Yep.
And then they just go right back to it.
Okay, well then you know what? Listen, then you know what, WWE, you deserve to be in the ship you're in sometimes then, as far as not getting the audience you want to get.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
no, it's learning from experience. They did this last time. Eventually, SmackDown numbers go down so much that they start combining the rosters and dropping the single branded pay-per-views. Then they start dropping the single branded house shows, and then they're back to one brand. It happened, and it's the same formula.
I still prefer SmackDown though. I'm being very honest. I still like SmackDown better.
You know why? I preferred it a lot a year ago. This year, I feel like it's just been.
Recently,
it's been tedious, but it's still easier to watch because it's 2 hours. I feel like that third hour just kills it.
Yeah, I like anything with Kevin, Sammy. They're doing a great job with that. You got to admit they're booking that really well.
Yeah, the Shane Dan. I just hope there's a payoff.
Yeah,
I hope they're just not booking out their ass and they have a real payoff in mind, because Daniel Bryan hasn't been cleared. He's not going to get cleared by WWE. I think it's pretty clear at this point. So,
Glenn, are you popping because Raj cursed?
No. For my thing is SmackDown. I feel like, look, once they cancel Talking Smack, once they stop paying attention to it, I feel like the problem is now the attitude. It comes across like, oh yeah, just keep the storylines going. We'll figure out stuff when we get to the next pay-per-view. It seems like it's not fresh enough each week. At least on Raw, I feel like things change a little more week in and week out.
Seriously, yeah, it's a shame, man. I love watching. I love the company. I love watching the show as a fan now.
Yeah,
and you just get so frustrated. I get frustrated because you. It's not like we know better. We obviously don't know better than these certain people. They pay money that are professionals at this. Okay, but you do have to question it a lot. With the whole logic on why not beef up a SmackDown? Why literally go out of your hurt it like by taking Smack and like for taking down Talking Smack? What was that doing wrong to anybody? What was that doing so wrong?
Yeah. And you know what? Yes, it's a hard job what they're doing, but you don't have to be in the business to know. You don't have to be a director to know if a movie sucks.
No, you don't.
It's if you see the interest dropping, which you look at the SmackDown attendance and where it's been lately, it's just like it's looking more and more like the Indies. And where do you start doing something about it?
Right now, Ronda, SmackDown. Let's go.
Oh, you
God,
I'm going to throw my phone against the wall.
If they put Ronda on SmackDown, could you imagine like half the show would be about Ronda and the women's division? And granted, it would be Ronda centric, but I mean, man, I turned to SmackDown each weekend, it was AJ, Kevin, Sammy, Ronda, Charlotte, Becky. Okay, look, the Riot Squad are crappy villains. Like, you need a good villain. Especially if Ronda's going to be a face. Like, you either need she could go against Becky and Charlotte if Ronda's going to be a heel.
That'd be great.
But you need like big personalities, big characters, and I think SmackDown would benefit from Ronda going there. I just don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah. We should talk about Bobby Lashley. Is on his way. It appears like he's on his way back to WWE. So
I thought it was impossible. You told me it was impossible.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did on the SmackDown podcast. I asked a question.
I did not say that. I said it was impossible for him to be in the Royal Rumble because his contract doesn't expire until February.
Yes, that's it.
So February is in a few days.
Oh, I didn't know it was in February. I just thought you said you can. Okay, go ahead.
No.
I thought you said it was like 6 months or something.
No.
Do you think he's going to be?
Like Impact is letting him go whenever he wants to go, so he can theoretically show up on Raw tomorrow night.
What do you mean? He doesn't have a non-compete?
No, Impact's not holding anybody to like those because the next taping is not until March or something, so they're not going to hold him to the February 1st. If he wants to go, they'll let him go.
That's cool of them, but like,
they're doing that. They're letting EC3 keep his name. That's created by Impact. They gave Matt Hardy the broken stuff.
Why do you think this is? What's the underlying theme, you think?
I think they're trying to play nice, just as a PR thing, and it really does because it does them nothing to hold on to it where they're at. If they were competitive, then yes, you want to hold on to that intellectual property, but just where they're at, it's not worth the negative perception from fans, even if they're right, even if it was created on their TV and they should own it.
Right.
They don't want that.
But I mean, as far as the talent goes, now if I'm signing with Impact, I have this weeble wobble like BS toilet paper contract basically that says I can bounce whenever I want? Or
Well, no, your contract still, you still, it has to be up. Or yeah, so basically his contract was up, but they don't have another taping before his contract's up. So it's just holding him for through empty space basically. But Laurel Van Ness, you know what? They let her go too. They gave her release. Her contract was not up till I think June.
Shoot, so. I had 2 years, and I want to say 2 years and 9 months remaining on mine. And they totally were cool giving me mine. That was really cool of them. Yeah. But at the same time, wise though, you know what I mean? It's like I don't know.
Well, trust me, if they get to the point where they're a dent, then they won't be doing that. But
good point.
Right now, they're taping 2 months of TV.
Can I just show you guys something real quick?
Let's see it.
What our company was, and this is not including Hogan and Flair and Jeff Hardy, by the way.
Let's see it.
Hang on. Look at this. What?
That's perfect.
Why is it not filming it? It's not filming it?
Now I see it.
It just goes to black. Hang on, guys. Why is not the end of my camera working?
No, I can see. We can see now.
You can see the poster?
Yeah, you just keep it on the poster, and I think the picture will come back on.
Can you see?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. But look at this talent. Look at this freaking talent we had. Come on. Do you know what I mean? Like, look, this company was so. That's not even including Angle, Hogan, Flair, Hardy's.
You should call it TNA SmackDown because AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, yeah.
And the NXT tape house show I went to, I took my son to. I saw Gunner backstage.
Yeah, that's right. He's in NXT. What's his name? Chad Lair or something like that.
That's his real name, actually, Chad.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, they used to be. There was a time when they got 2 million viewers on a show, which isn't that far off from what SmackDown's doing.
Do you remember when Jack Swagger was the world champion on SmackDown, Bryan? I think it was. Our show, I swear to God, because I was on it, I swear to God, I'm taking myself out of the equation as a wrestler. Watching both shows, we had a more entertaining show at that time, that year.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, we did.
I agree. There were times when I thought TNA was on the cusp of something. There was the one time they did this live show. This was when Monty Brown was still there, and he just looked like he was this up and coming star. There was a lively crowd, and this was before Hogan and Bischoff. This was like early days of Spike.
If Monty Brown was there, it was way before Spike.
No, I mean this was during Spike. Before Hogan and Bischoff.
Okay, Monty Brown wasn't with us.
No, the whole time, I mean, TNA was on Spike pretty much from the beginning before they were on the regional networks. But Monty Brown was on Spike for a while.
Okay.
So anyway, the point being, it's too bad how far it fell. Seriously. But yeah, Bobby Lashley. Dave Meltzer was saying that Lashley will likely be facing Lesnar after Mania. If I'm assuming that means if Lesnar stays, because his contract's supposed to be up after Mania. So if he stays, I think that's an awesome matchup.
You think fans will remember Bobby?
They pop for EC3,
Oh yeah, it's the NXT crowd though.
That is an NXT crowd.
Speaking of which, amazing how much everyone's going to NXT. So did MVP resign? Is that official?
Wow.
No, I didn't see that.
And I saw one thing referencing that when I was searching online. But that's the thing. So Bobby's going to be the only comeback going to the main roster. Everyone else last night, EC3, Ricochet, War Machine, all going to NXT.
Should be.
That's the way it should be. Lashley made a name for himself outside.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
What's up with Rockstar Spud? Is he actually?
I don't know. Maybe he's the GM for 205 Live. He was at the Royal Rumble. He's been backstage.
Gotcha.
I don't know. What do you think, Matt? As a wrestler, you think he's a good fit for the cruiserweight division, or you think it's better to use him in an off, as a GM in the GM role? Because they're announcing GM this Tuesday.
If they really want to make the show better, want to do this, okay? They want to make it better. yes, you put him in that GM role because that dude is entertaining as hell. But I'd hate to waste them on that if it's not being serious. If they're not being serious about taking care of that show. All right. The other day was talking about sort of scrapping it all together. Like they had to talk them down from canceling the show literally before the 25th anniversary show of Raw.
They had to talk who down?
Vince.
Oh, really? Wait, what?
What?
Vince. You guys hear this? Vince McMahon was so heated, like annoyed with this, with the 205.
Oh.
The 205 live show. He's like, can we just get rid of it? Like, he wanted to get rid of it.
I didn't hear that. Wow.
You didn't hear this?
No.
Yeah, I swear to God. Ask your contacts.
Huh. Interesting.
Hilarious. Like, he wanted to literally swipe it all away that night.
You know Vince isn't watching it.
Oh,
it's like the one time he watched Talking Smack. He's like, we got to get rid of it.
It's like, they did what? Who?
Yeah, they're talking like real people. We can't have that.
Yeah, Nakamura is the most he's ever emoted and emotionally got people emotionally invested in him. No, we can't have that.
Yeah. 205 Live, I mean, being down to a half an hour now. That thing with Daniel Bryan making the announcement the other night, dear God. I mean,
what
Daniel Bryan came out at the start of 205 Live to say, next week we're going to address the cruiserweight title situation and we're going to announce the GM. And it was just kind of like telegraphing, we have no idea what's going on. We thought we could ride this Enzo thing out, you know, having him be the star of the show, but clearly that's not going to be a good idea right now. Give us a week and we'll have a plan.
Yeah. So Matt, real quick, did you watch 205 Live? Did you watch NXT last night?
No.
TakeOver?
Yes.
What were your thoughts?
It's just it's fallen a lot. You got to admit from where it used to be, right?
In terms of star power, yeah, I could see that.
It's good though.
Yeah, but they're always good. I'm yet to see a shitty takeover, obviously.
That main event, though, I thought that was like the best takeover match. I thought that was the best match I've seen this year, and that includes Jericho and Omega.
Wow, really? I'm gonna watch it again then.
Yeah, Gargano and Almas. I thought that was amazing.
My problem is I don't like either one of them. I don't see either one as a star. And that's a horrible thing to say because I should be able to just watch the match for the match and the story itself, right? And make my judgment. I can't do it with these two.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's the thing is sometimes the IWC just looks at how good they are in NXT or in New Japan, and you forget, like, at the main roster, is this guy going to work? I honestly don't see Gargano working on the main roster because he is too small. I love him. I think he's great.
Me too.
He's got that Daniel Bryan thing, but I just
not
don't see
a plus. Not a plus in the main roster's eyes.
Yeah, and well, he's smaller than Daniel Bryan. He's a really small guy, but he's perfect babyface. He looks, talks, acts like one.
I wanted him to win last night. I thought, but you could tell he wasn't going to.
He just looks too ordinary to me.
The fact they won't give him wins in NXT, kind of, you saw that with Ty Dillinger, right? I just don't see much on the main roster for him, and it sucks. I mean, best case scenario in a sad way is he's on 205 Live, and I mean, he'd be
for
great,
as long as it's on the air.
You see how they treat 205 Live, so man, it sucks because I really like him. I'm a big Gargano fan, but it is true what you said, Matt, that they're not going to be stars on the main roster. It's the sad truth.
And so because of that, right, for whatever rhyme or reason, it took me out of the match a lot. And everyone kept raving about the match. I'm like, what am I missing? You know, am I getting older? Like, what the hell is it that I'm missing here? Because I love the guys. I was joking around now today. You know, everybody's a, dwarf midget pissant or whatever I joked about. And now everybody just does a flip-flop of flying now. I was joking, obviously. I was being facetious. But I do love the high energy, like the Young Bucks. I love the high energy. I do like watching high spots. It is what it is. Sue me. I like seeing it sometimes. So what? Kill me. But I can still connect with a lot of those guys. These two, I cannot connect with. I don't get why Homeboy's the champion. Because his manager is really good. That's not a good enough reason for me.
She is really good.
She's awesome.
Really good. She's
great.
He looks better. He's got the swagger now that he was lacking.
He's improved. He does, but he's not a champ. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Well, but you have to remember,
I agree. He doesn't come across as like a. We were talking about this on last night's podcast. Is he doesn't come across as? There's no reason to hate him. He's
right.
He's
What's my man's name from? God, I suck. What's my man? He was in the NXT. He was in the NXT guy that was in the Rumble tonight. Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole. He. Remember when he made his debut in NXT? Act. You know what I mean? To me,
it's an act.
That was a main show act, in my opinion. The way he was the whole 9.
I agree. I just think that his size is going to hurt him on the main roster.
It is going to hurt him on the main roster. I thought he was a lot taller than what I saw tonight.
I think honestly, the most dynamic character in NXT right now is still Velveteen Dream.
That dude is money.
Yeah,
he's money. His match last night, I think. I've heard some reviews ripping him, but I think a lot of that had to do with Cassius Ohno's. That he was sloppy at parts, but I think a lot of that had to do with Cassius Ohno's weight. I think he had a hard time doing some of the moves he wanted to because of that.
How come nobody gets on Cassius Ohno? I love him. I love Chris Hero to death. We're both college basketball fans, particularly Duke fans. We get along great. Okay. That said, what has happened to his body, and how come nobody gets on him about it?
We did last night on the podcast. I think.
But I mean, IWC. Do they not see this?
I think.
I saw cottage cheese in his legs last night, guys.
I know. I tweeted that he should be wearing tights.
He should be wearing cargo pants. If there's a case for any wrestler wearing cargo pants, it's Cassius Ohno at this point.
Yeah, so I think a lot of the problems in that match was Velveteen Dream. I think Cassius Ohno was just heavier than he was expecting. He couldn't do a lot of the stuff he wanted to do. Because you saw Aleister Black, it's not like that was a one-man show with Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream at the last TakeOver show. And that match, it was off the charts. So.
And here's the craziest part. Patrick Clark is 22 years old.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That kid is 22?
22.
Guys, I can't even begin to get into how deep his character is and the confidence that it takes to pull off what he's pulling off weekly. Or whatever the hell he's on, I should say. Okay? I couldn't do that, and I'm 41, and I've been in a 13-year career. I couldn't do that.
No.
Are you kidding me? He's 22.
22. And I hope they keep him in NXT for a while because Vince is going to destroy
him. I'm begging you.
Vince is begging
you.
You know what's funny? When I saw him on Tough Enough, I was like, man, this guy, he's got a good physique and everything, but he doesn't have any charisma. I don't see him making it because of the charisma aspect. And then now you look at him, it's like, whoa. He totally transformed that.
With Tough Enough, and again, it's not the same one that I was on. It's much different night and day. But they chose to show what they want to show. When I was on it, they chose to show the gentle giant, the Matt Morgan. Big heart, loves wrestling, blah, 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 blah. I'm humble. You know me. I'm humble to a degree, but I'm cockier than I'm humble. They didn't show any of that.
Yeah.
So they pick what they want to show and give you. Patrick Clark struck me as a big wrestling mark who's athletic as hell on the Tough Enough show. And that was my early pick to win.
Yeah.
But look, oh my God, I didn't know that kid was so young.
Yeah, he's a kid, and he's got the mind for it. He's got that wrestling mind. He knows. I think he needs to work on his promos a little bit. Like when he does his promos, I just feel like it's not there with this character yet.
It's so hard to do though. Come on, that character's tough.
Oh my God, that one though on NXT when he walks by the interviewer on the street and says no, sorry, I don't have any change, and just keeps walking. I mean, he's got it. It's just gonna be the right.
Dumb question, Glenn and Raj. Sorry, dumb question. Yeah. Is his character? Do we know if his character is gay?
I think it's supposed to be more like Rick James or Prince. He's so heterosexual, he just gives 0 Fs.
Because Prince.
That is how I take it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife asked me that. I didn't know how to answer that. I go, I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
But you know what? What's funny? You know who's asked me? And maybe this is the area I live in and the people I know and the cultures. You know who's asked me are their characters supposed to be gay? You know who I've heard that question asked me about? Is Dash and Dawson the Revival. To the San Francisco crowd, they look like a pair of leather daddies.
Like the teddy bears or what? Is that what they call them?
Yeah, like the bear and the cub. That's what Dash and Dawson look like.
Gross.
Hey, no.
I'm just saying. So, Matt, to your point, I think people perceive things, and the Velveteen Dream, much like Goldust. Goldust knows how he's perceived, and that's Goldust. How do you say? Oh, it's mind games. I'm messing with you because I know you see me, and this is what you think. And with Patrick Clark, I think it's the idea. It's just with the Velveteen Dream, rather. It's the idea is I just don't care. This is who I am.
It's awesome because I remember Orlando Jordan. We tried something like that at TNA, and I was stoked for him because my boy was going to finally be able to, you know what I mean, be himself. And like Orlando, you go to a club with him, man, he is live, all the way turned up, and he's fun to be around. And that's who he is, right? And an Impact, they were writing stupid stuff from that they thought a gay guy would do. And I remember Orlando being like, "Huh? Like, no," you know what I mean? And it's just like, so with Patrick Clark thing, I was like, is this what this is? You know, my wife asked me that. I didn't know how to answer. I'm like, you know what's so cool about this? It doesn't make me care one way or the other. Like, I don't care. If he's gay, so be it. If he's not, so be it. I just know he is friggin' a badass once the bell rings and entertaining as hell in between it. I think he's entertaining on them, like I do. But you're right, Raj. The problem with his character, though, is going to take him some time, though, to your point of getting those promos down, because think of the acting that's involved. They tell us to be a version of ourselves turned up. That there's nothing. There's none. There's not 1 ounce of this in who Patrick Clark is in real life. Okay, so there's nothing for him to turn up. This is him straight acting, method acting, if you will. So the hats off to that mother effort, because he's money.
Yeah,
money,
awesome.
money.
Yeah, and to the point about gay characters, you know, as much as WWE wants to act ahead of the curve, I would cringe if they try to book a gay character.
I've talked about this.
I just think they would,
because they would
be so
wrong,
offensive.
Right?
Yeah,
no,
I think it'd be so
offensive.
I've said this. Vince McMahon is going to take one look at the Velveteen Dream. It's going to remind him of the character Hollywood from the movie Mannequin, which was a very flamboyant black gay man.
Oh, yeah.
And it will be the death of the Velveteen Dream on the main roster.
I'll be so pissed.
Yeah. I don't trust them to do that. You saw Chuck and Billy. I mean,
even okay, and Billy and Chuck, especially Billy can act when it's time. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're right. But like the thing that, like, look at what's his name? The modern day Maharaja, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. How backwards is that?
Come on.
Oh, that was terrible. You know, the fact they had a character coming out there talking about Americans are intolerant, and then he's up against Shinsuke Nakamura and cuts like the most xenophobic, racist, you know, promo
that is coming from Vince's mouth.
Yeah, yeah. You know? Let's remember that. Yeah.
All right. So before we go, real quick, WrestleMania picks. What do you guys think are the top matches? The top 4.
Apparently, Roman and Brock.
We got Taker and Cena.
Taker, Cena, I guess
AJ and Nakamura.
Nakamura, I guess, is not gonna. I don't know, because the women with what's her name now, Ronda is gonna have to be one of the 4.
I think it's gonna be Ronda and Charlotte, unless God, I just hope Stephanie. Now that Triple H isn't in with Braun, I hope it's not like Triple H and Stephanie against Ronda and somebody. You know.
No, I think it'll be
like Kurt and Ronda against Triple H and Stephanie.
Ronda with the other 3 horsewomen respectively in each corner. I think is what it's gonna.
Oh, I don't think so.
No, not 4-on-4, not 4-on-4, but there'll be a brawl.
Why have the horsewomen? No one knows who they are.
Right. I don't know.
Except for Shayna
Baszler.
Yeah, well, and that's with Shayna in there. I don't know.
What's your take on her? What's your take on Shayna?
I like her. I think she's. It seems like the IWC is all of a sudden building her up a bit. I think she's
cool.
She's a little. I think she's a little green.
She's very green, but I respect what she's doing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, she could easily. I'm sure if Ronda said something like, "Hey, yeah, I'll come in, but my girl goes in the main roster."
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I respect her for not relying on that and working her way through NXT. I respect that.
Oh no, she legit loves this business and is a huge fan. So yeah, she's doing it the right way. Not like CM Punk with MMA.
Yeah, he says he's fighting again.
Yeah, he's gonna get another fight. So God, how do you find someone for him to fight?
Glenn, are you busy?
Glenn,
I like my odds. I'm just saying against Punk.
Sadly, I do too.
Yeah, I know. That'd be pretty close.
I hate saying that about my boy, but it is what it is.
All right. Yeah. And so Braun and The Miz is what it's looking like. So there we go. Those are kind of the top WrestleMania matches, and they're going to fill those in over the next couple of months.
Someone in the chat just said, what about CM Punk versus Enzo? I was like, I could see Enzo saying something stupid like, because he did some MMA stuff before he was in the WWE. I could totally see Enzo.
CM Punk legitimately could beat up most of these guys.
You both would whip Enzo's ass.
The word on the street is he's going into hip hop. Has been his plan.
Yeah,
he's been planning that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless him. You know, I don't know.
If he gets cleared of all this stuff, if that happened,
WWE doesn't re-sign him, bro. No way.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of baggage there. That's the thing. And one accusation, regardless if you're found innocent or not, it hurts.
It does hurt. But the thing is, for him not to tell them, though, that's humongous.
And plus, it seems like there definitely were drugs involved when they take their drug testing so seriously.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hell of a Royal Rumble tonight. We're on the road to WrestleMania.
I liked it. Overall I liked it. Because I liked the men's Rumble. I liked Rousey. I thought it was awkward, but it was a big deal.
Yeah.
So and the rest of the matches were kind of actually, you know what? Outside the men's Rumble, it kind of as far as match quality went, it wasn't that great.
C-.
Compared to the other pay-per-views, I mean, at least this one had some good bookends to it. You know, there were a couple dips, but I thought the way it ended and stuff, I don't know, all in all, I thought it was better.
Good point about the bookends, but we're talking about a very deep bookend.
When an AJ Styles match under-delivers, that's always a bad sign. And especially when you got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in there. I mean, AJ and Sami on SmackDown on Tuesday was better than tonight. It just didn't get going.
Hey, well, you know, I'm sure the good news is I'm sure we're going to see them again this Tuesday in a rematch on SmackDown Live.
Yeah, but I'll give it a B-. I think the men's Rumble it was entertaining. I thought there was enough surprises in the women's Rumble that it was. I'd call it a success overall with Asuka winning, and
I like the women's Rumble better. I like the women's Rumble better than the men's. Yes, the men's under-delivered, except for the finish. I love Nakamura winning, but it under-delivered to me. I didn't get the surprises I wanted. I don't care what anybody says. That's why I watch it. Sorry, sue me. That's why I like the Rumble. Secondly, I didn't like the Final Four. I hated the Final Four. I mean, no, the two of the Final Four being Cena and Roman specifically is what I mean.
Yeah,
I would have liked to have seen two other fresh, younger guys in that Final Four position. It would have made it harder to determine who would win. I'm sorry, nobody would. I just don't think that many people bought Roman was going to win. There's no way anybody would fall for it. WWE could possibly be this stupid to have Roman win in Philly. There's just no way. Not again.
All right. Well, we never know. We got tomorrow night still coming. So.
Yeah, the Raw after the Rumble tomorrow night. I'm sure we will have more news on Ronda Rousey. I'm sure that's gonna
maybe Lashley. I'm sure they got to save something for tomorrow night. So
we'll be back here. Less than 24 hours.
I'm gonna call. I'm not gonna promise anything, but I'm gonna call Lashley and see what I can get out of him.
Nice. Text me and let me know.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Matt, anything you want to plug before we take it home here?
Tomorrow night's podcast is going to be off the chain because we're going to have some cool different things to talk about besides the Raw episode. That's going to be humongous for sure. But the news outside, you know what I mean? The peripheral of what's going on in WWE heading into WrestleMania, I definitely would watch tomorrow's podcast.
Sounds good.
Tune in, guys.
Yeah, so we'll be back here less than 24 hours to talk about Monday Night Raw. Until next time, folks, I'm Glenn Rubenstein, and we'll see you back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.